It's your boy Brian back at it again with another episode of the High Notes Podcast. I'm here, we're joined again with my co-host,
Brewmaster McNasty.
Brewmaster McNasty. Any particular reason why you picked that as your name this week, McNasty?
It's because we got a special guest coming on to teach us about beer. He's actually a brewmaster. Since I brought him on the show, that makes me a brewmaster recruiter. So I think I know what I'm talking about.
All right, say less. This is going to be an interesting episode then. All right, I like that. All right, McNasty. Now, this week we have a couple of interesting topics to talk about. Now, we have an update on the Navali story. If you remember Navali from last week's episode.
Oh, yeah, the savior.
Yeah.
The revolutionary guy.
Yeah, we got an update on him, followed by a David Dobrik scandal. Have you heard about this? This is interesting.
I'm not gonna lie, I used to watch David Dobrik heavy, bro.
For real. I know how you feel. Yeah.
For real. But I haven't been really following him lately. I think his content got kind of like, it wasn't dry. It was just like, I know, like, you kind of knew what was that happened. Like, it's not even interesting. But I heard he got into some new shit. I don't really know the full details, but we're gonna dive into that.
We'll dive into that in a little bit. Now, we also got millions of people are skipping their second dose of the vaccine right now.
Damn. Wow.
So,
that's crazy.
We'll talk about that as well. Now, we also have an update on GameStop, and we'll also talk a little bit about the SpaceX, because we just made a major leap for humanity here, what Elon Musk did with his company. So that's going to be interesting to talk about. But before we start all that, let's go ahead and just make a quick correction on a previous video. Now, McNasty, do you remember the story that of the guy that attacked the police officers at the Capitol from a couple episodes ago? Do you remember that story?
Yes, I do. You said that he tried to stab him. Is that correct?
All right. So I overlooked the actual story here a little bit because I skimmed through it, but I didn't read it correctly. So the guy didn't stab anyone. He actually, drove his car through a barricaded area where the officers were standing. So still a violent crime. I just got how he killed them incorrectly.
Did he kill him?
He killed the one officer. Yes, I know that for certain. The one officer was pronounced dead on arrival to the hospital. I remember that part. Yes. I'm not sure of the condition of the other guy. So I just wanted to give a quick.
You should really read those articles, bro.
Yeah. I apologize for that. I'm gonna take the L on that one. That was all me.
Bro. That doesn't even correlate. Like, life, driving, nothing.
This man lives for me to be wrong anytime possible, bro. Anytime. All right, but let's go ahead and jump into the update on the Navali story, McNasty. Do you remember that story?
Yeah. So he's the guy who was running against Putin. And I guess they tried to poison him when he was leaving the country. And then he came back to stand up for his people. And then he got thrown in jail.
In jail, like an idiot. But we do have an update. Apparently, Russia figured out that it was a better idea to keep that man alive.
So what they do?
Putin pulled him out of jail.
Oh, shit. So now he's free?
I'm not sure if he's free, but as of right now, he should be eating again. He's off of his hunger strike. He's not continuing the hunger strike anymore. We have that as of right now is what's being reported.
Damn, so he freed himself.
I'm not sure if he's free like completely because it's the Russian government. You think they're just gonna let the guy that's about to try to overtake the government to be free? That doesn't sound like a good idea.
Yeah, that's right. They probably have him like in a cabin somewhere, but it's like a nice cabin.
Yeah, it's probably like government watch, 24/7 government watch, probably what it would be. Right. Yeah. But that is interesting. So as of right now, there also is a second update to this as well. So you remember how we were talking also about World War III and how that was a possibility as of right now because of the tensions over across the world?
Yeah,
Russia.
The NATO.
Yeah. Russia in this same move, like right around that same time span, they also pulled off of the border of Ukraine. So we went back to normal.
So it worked.
I'm not gonna say it worked, but I don't know, man.
The Justice League did its job.
So yeah, Russia pulled back from a very dicey situation. They figured out that it wasn't in their best interest. I think they're just testing the waters. They want to see how much they can get away with.
I think so too. No, but I think like the stuff internally that's going on, and then with the outside stuff as well, like they knew they probably would have been fucked on both ends. If they were fighting a war during like a revolution, like, that's crazy. Think about it. You can't really win.
Yeah, you couldn't win. So yeah, it was calculated. They were like, yeah, right now is not the best time to start World War III. We wouldn't come out winning on that one. Now, McNasty, let's go ahead and jump into the next story here. Now, have you heard about the David Dobrik scandal? Have you heard about this? This is really interesting.
Honestly, I haven't, man. I don't know what's going on, but I do hear like little things like he's about to be canceled and all that. I just haven't really dove into that kind of stuff. But
now, so you've watched David Dobrik's content?
Yeah, in the past, man. I try to win a few Teslas here and there. I'm not gonna cap for the podcast.
All right. I respect that. Now, do you remember like the original Vlog Squad, like the first group of people that when they first started?
When they first started?
When they like, first started, yeah.
Like that old dude, and then Trish Papaya.
No, like way before that. Way before that. Way before that.
Dirty Dan.
Dirty Dom. Yeah. When they were living in an apartment. Yep. So, if you remember Dirty Dom, a situation came out that apparently he sexually assaulted a girl in one of the videos while she was drunk, and they have it on camera, and it was like one of their videos.
Damn. And it's like on YouTube?
No, the video was taken down off of the channel, I believe, so it's no longer on David's channel. But if you look for it, you probably can find it.
No, but I'm saying, how long was it up before it was taken down?
Oh, it was millions of views. It's a David Dobrik video. Like, that shit gets millions of views. Yeah.
So up, and anybody could have watched it before they've taken it down.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, shit. Damn,
yeah.
I didn't even know that. I didn't even think that.
Yeah, so Dirty Dom is right now fighting for his life. That man fighting for his life. That's a big allegation, bro.
Facts. That is true.
That could ruin your entire life. So
that is true.
And from how it's being presented, it's not looking good for him. I'm like, bro, this sound wild. This sound wild. Now, do you remember the black guy, Seth?
The black guy.
The black guy, yeah. You know, all right. So you ain't watch. All right, now he came out. He came out with his own allegations against the group as well.
What were they?
Now, this was a really interesting, like, situation that he had. Now, you know the Steve Nash. No, what's his name? What's the old guy's name?
I just know him by the old guy.
No!
Steve Nash.
Is it Steve? He looks like a Steve. We're gonna call him Steve. Whatever the old guy's name is. So they did a prank on Seth where he bet David that he couldn't get him to make out with the old dude, right?
Yeah.
He made a bet. David was like, say less. And he got it to happen, right?
Yeah.
But the black guy was like, I didn't consent to that. He was like, I was traumatized by that. I didn't consent to that.
Nah, because that nigga really kissed him, I'm guessing.
He really kissed him.
Out.
But he made out with him because he was told, he was under the impression that he was making out with a chick.
Oh, that's foul.
Yeah.
That's foul.
So yeah.
He was like blindfolded?
I don't remember like the specific situation, but from how they explained it, that's what they're saying. Like, he was under the impression that he was making out with a girl.
Yo, so he was really tonguing him down.
Tonguing him down, bro.
And the other dude had no clue.
No. I was like, that is a wild situation. Because if there's no consent, was that sexual assault? Did that man like sexually assault him?
Yes.
That's.
I'll be tight.
I would, bro. We would fight, bro.
Yeah,
we would be fighting, bro. That's not even a game. That's not a game. No, we would be fighting. Oh God.
And everybody getting beat up.
Everybody.
The dude who organized it, the dude who agreed to the
whoever's recording, whoever edited that video getting beat up.
Everybody who knew about it is getting beat up.
That is a fact. But Seth was like, nah, let me chill. And he just removed himself from the group. So if you pay attention, like he stopped showing up in the videos. He just
shit.
Yeah, so if you pay attention, like he pulls back out of the group.
Damn.
So there's that allegation. Now, even more recently, a video was released by another member of the Vlog Squad.
Yeah.
Now, this video shows them like in the middle like of a lake, like a really shallow lake. It was like about 3 feet deep with like a crane in the middle of the lake. And it was spinning in circles with a rope tied around like the end of
I see
the shovel.
Like that people just do that to like fling themselves.
Yeah. But David was the one driving the crane. He wasn't like some trained professional.
So he wasn't even certified.
Not even certified or anything like that.
So he jumped in and told the camera guy, "Look at me." Turn it on.
Pretty much. So one of his members jumps on onto the crane like to get swung out, but David, being the genius, the rocket scientist that he is, forgot that anything that's No, wait. What was I gonna say?
What the fuck?
I lost it.
Say?
I lost my idea. Anyway, no. What I was saying was anything. No. Anyway, what I was gonna say was that David is a fucking moron and stopped the crane like what's it called? Without thinking about that anything that you swing will have forward momentum. The momentum keeps going.
Yeah.
So when he stopped, the rope swung around and the dude that was riding on the forklift smacked off of it. Or not the forklift, the crane.
The rope. Damn.
Yeah, the rope smacked off of it. He shattered the entire side of his face, bro.
Like shattered?
Like shattered, like stitching from like the top of the skull all the way down to the bottom of the cheek.
This nigga hit his head hit the crane.
Hit the crane, and when he like fell, like the rope tied around his foot. So he was dangling upside down from like the rope, like it dragged him through the water.
Oh,
so his head was underwater too while this all happened. While he was like passed crushed out.
Oh,
that shit
crazy.
Is wild. Now, my question to you, do you think that David Dobrik might be a sociopath? I think he might be.
I think he might be.
Those are some sociopathic tendencies. I don't know, man.
Cause bro, like, that's wild, bro.
That's
he still posted
wild.
That video, right? He still posted the video of the dude.
Not the one of the crane. He didn't post that one. That didn't get posted. No.
Oh, okay. Damn, that's wild though.
That's wild, bro. So. Do you think that could be a possibility? He could be a sociopath. We wouldn't be able to know though. And this is all allegedly. That we may be alleging that it may be possible. It's a possibility. We don't know.
Yeah, this all allegedly. I still want my Tesla.
Fact. Send me a Tesla, David. That would be awesome.
Send me too, bro.
If you send me listen, bro, if you send me a Tesla, I want specifically, because I already have this planned out, I want specifically a Model X, right? But I want the fully spec'd out one. Don't cheap out on me, bro. You think he's going to give us a Tesla?
Make mine bulletproof and matte black.
Bulletproof and matte black. Yeah, that's fire. But yeah, if you give us a Tesla, bro, we'll retract everything we just said in this episode. Yes?
Yeah, David, I really didn't say much, David. All
right, Big Nasty, but let's keep going. Now moving on to the next subject here, McNasty, because me and you discovered something recently that was really interesting, and we thought this was going to make for a good conversation. McNasty, do you want to explain Mormons soaking?
Yes, I do.
Go for it. Explain it, bro. Explain it.
So this act is very specific because they literally found a loophole to have intercourse without sinning, basically.
What's the loophole, McNasty? What's the loophole?
So a lot of you know some religions really like to fall upon the rule of no sex before marriage.
Yes.
So they got real specific in the wording of how that was said. And the technical loophole is, in order to have sex, you gotta thrust.
Yes.
Motion.
Motion in the ocean.
That is the act of having sex.
The thrusting.
The thrusting is the act of having sex.
Okay.
But if you just stick it in and don't move, that's called soaking. And that's what the Mormon community does to get around that. So to get around the loophole of like chastity and all that. Yeah. Because they're not doing the act. They're just sticking it in. If you get what I'm saying.
Bro, that sounds kind of hot. I ain't gonna lie.
Hey, yo.
They just lay there. You know how intimate you have to get with the person that you're just laying there hoping that you'll nut?
Yeah.
Bro, that shit is a different level of intimate, bro.
Cause you have to really like that person.
You gotta really like them, bro. For real.
That person to do that. Because honestly, man.
McNasty, would you actually try this? I've never tried something like this. This sounds wild. I would be like, I'll try it at least once to see what the hype is about.
Yeah, nah, man. I'm not gonna try this one, bro.
What? This is an interesting one. You wouldn't try this, McNasty?
Nah, man. I'm gonna sit out on this one, bro. You can just tell me.
This man said he would fuck Fiona, and he just
what the fuck?
He said he would fuck Fiona, but this is crossing the line.
God. Listen,
this is crossing the line.
Joke with you.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
You should have never asked it, bro. You should have never. Everybody that I've asked has been very specific with this exact same question, and the answer is always no. You're the only one that would agree to it.
I never said I would agree. I literally just asked you a question if you would. That's all that happened.
But it's one of those questions that if you even ask that question, that means there's at least some doubt in your head.
Nah, because I could just ask the question and be curious.
You're lying. Because you have doubt. Because you have doubt.
To ask questions, you gotta have.
That's how you're supposed to ask questions. You doubt something and you be like, yo, I want to learn about that.
Bro, stop trying to make scenarios out of this. You know I was just asking a question.
No. But anyway, so you'll fuck Fiona, but you won't try soaking. That's wild.
Nah, man. Soaking is not it, bro.
It's not it.
They're staring at each other. Like, that's weird.
What kind of conversations do you think you would have with someone while you're like just sitting on top of them like that?
I don't think they talk. I think it's all silent. They don't want to get caught, bro.
No, that's even funnier. Yeah.
I could be wrong.
No way, bro, that's even funnier. You imagine they're just sitting on top of each other, bro. Chill. No. That's too funny.
No. But how would they brag about it to like their friends and shit? Like,
do you think No. Do you think like their dirty talk them would have to be crazy?
It has to be like according to the mood, because what the fuck? It's like you can't be like, yeah, I totally
you have to go
because you didn't bang.
Bro, think about it. How are you about to nut? How are you about to nut, man?
I think it's like by the.
You're just sitting there, bro.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
I don't know, bro. They on some wild shit. The Mormons, they some freaks, bro. Low key, they some freaks.
Yeah, wild.
All right, McNasty, but let's go ahead and move on to the next topic here. Now, have you heard about the update to the GameStop situation?
Nah, I heard that their stock keeps steady climbing. Like, it's not, it wasn't a fluke.
No, it's still a fluke. No. This is still a meme stock. Yeah, no.
No, but if you put your money into it earlier, it definitely would have paid out right now.
Not from where it was going. They were aiming for like $1,000 per share.
Shit.
Yeah, they were aiming for the moon, bro.
But wasn't it like $13 before the meme? Like 12, 13?
No, GameStop is technically worthless because you have to think about it. They're a company that sells physical copies of games. Who is buying a physical copy of a game today?
Oh, nobody. It's all digital.
Nobody. And if you try to take your old consoles and parts to have them trade them in, they give you absolutely nothing. There's no value in GameStop.
Yeah, they be finessing, low key. Like I would bring in like a whole system, 3 games, 2 remotes. They'd be like $70. I'd be like, what?
Facts. Like and then they look at you like you're crazy. Like you have to take up whatever money we give you.
Right. And I'd be like, no. Store credit. They'd be like 80. I'd be like, nah, what the fuck? Tell me how that's a better option. Nah, that's crazy though.
Yeah, no. They were wilding with them prices and how much they gave you in store credit. So there's no value left in that company. Now, when the memes like stock trading started, now this company went from being literally worth the least amount of money possible all the way to being worth more than the value of JetBlue at one point in less than a couple of weeks.
Damn. How much is JetBlue?
JetBlue is in the billions. We're talking billions and billions of dollars.
Coming in.
What do you mean?
So people were just investing billions of dollars.
No, they pumped the price of the value of the stock up to be worth billions. But it's because of a vicious... Yeah, it was being pumped. So what happened was that the people that were trading against the stock were actually buying the stock back because they were forced to because they couldn't afford to pay out the value of the stock.
Yeah.
So they had to keep buying it. So the value was never actually there, but it took it to be worth the same thing as JetBlue at one point.
Damn, that's crazy when you think about it.
It's insane. And it's still sitting at $154. So it's way above what it's actually worth.
Which is like, what you think is a fair price for GameStop?
Somewhere around like $20 maybe.
That's pretty high. I was thinking like $12, $13.
Not as of right now, no.
No, I'm saying like before this whole meme thing, what took it over? Like before everything started, everybody started buying into it. Like what you thought it was worth?
Before that, still around $20 because that's the problem. That's why they figured out that they were short selling it. They knew that the value of the company is a lot higher than what it was actually trading for, like for pennies on the dollars. Well, not pennies on the dollars, but I mean like it was trading for like somewhere around like $4 at one point. They were like, that's not the actual value of that. So they were like, no, we like the stock. They started buying it. They shot the price of the stock up.
Yeah.
So that's the entire situation that happened with that. Now, during this entire time, let's go ahead and go back onto today's story. Now, during this entire time that all of this was happening, the CEO of GameStop was plotting on us. This man was plotting. Because imagine your company, you own a company, right? And you're running it. When you come in, that company is being valued at like the most worthless company in the entire stock market. Anything you buy in that would be worth nothing.
Yeah. You
come in and you flip the stock price from where it is all the way up to $500 in the short time that you're the CEO. What do you think you're about to do? What do you think? How would you plot in this situation?
It's time to take the bag. Take the bag and run.
Exactly what happened today. So the CEO of GameStop is right now he's probably thinking about stepping down from his position and going somewhere else with his talent, but he's going to get a payout in the millions because of how much money he's made off of the stock price from where it started to where it is now.
Dang.
He got a free ride. Man got a free ride, bro.
And he said, "See ya." He just stepped down and dipped.
I'm not sure if he's out completely yet, but he is in the transition phase, I believe is what's called.
And they still ain't find the money because he got it.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Because isn't he technically like, all right, he didn't steal it. He used his own money to buy the stocks and
No.
shot it up?
No. The CEO and the board of a company aren't allowed to like buy and sell stocks like that of their own company.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, so there's laws against that.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
there's laws against that.
Stocks from just working there.
He can get paid out in stocks. That's a possibility, but he can't go out and just buy stocks. No.
Oh yeah, all right, I get what you. So he really put on for his team too. It wasn't just him. Everybody who has stocks in that company got paid.
It's a payday, bro. It's a massive payday.
So he put his team on his back too. He was like, I'm gonna go out with this bread, and y'all gonna get some too.
But think about it this way. Here's my problem with his entire situation. During this whole time, he could have easily have actually switched it around in order to provide for the company to actually make money. Like he could have been like, all right, now that we're being valued so high, let's go ahead and switch our entire monetization platform around to be like, say, a digital store instead of a physical one.
All right. So if
why didn't you think of that?
That's what you're gonna do. That's what you're gonna do.
Bro, I would have flipped the stock price and actually made it worth what they're valuing it at.
Yeah, like a whole makeover.
That's his job as a CEO.
Yeah. So how would you do it? Like, what would you promote in the store?
It would be like, I would make it the store of all stores. Be like, let's make it so that every console is is connected by one single store, and everybody gets the same game. Like everybody gets the same copy of the game, so you can play cross-platform with everybody if you buy games off of my store.
Nah, they'll stop that shit. They'll stop that shit.
Why would they stop it? They would make a shit ton of money.
Nah, I think they'll band together to stop that shit. Like all the other consoles will not let that fly.
The consoles that don't want to join, they're gonna die. They'll get killed off.
Nah, I don't think
it's a free market. It's a free market, baby.
They have too much money.
It's a free market, baby.
Yo, if you do that, bro, you're gonna get assassinated.
Hey yo, I'm gonna go get this patent today. What are you talking about?
Is gonna go and assassinate you. But nah, I get what you're saying. But if I was CEO, I would do this, bro. The stores, get rid of all the games, right? All the physical copies. Nobody needs that, right?
Yeah.
We're just gonna double up on consoles and like memorabilia. Cause I like when PS4, like PS5s right now.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, maybe GameStop got it, but they only had like 5. So imagine me, like, damn, I don't have a PS5. I'm ready to buy this today, and I want to play it today. But my GameStop would have had that shit on deck, because I would have went in there bought a PS5, maybe bought a Switch too, because I'm feeling like dropping money to get consoles right away. So that would be my take on it.
So you would switch them to like console-based market instead.
Yep, strictly.
Where they just sell the hardware.
If you need a remote, come here. Yep. Because if you think about it, everything, all the games you need, you can just buy it digitally. We could sell you the extra storage.
But here's a problem that's happening right now. There's right now a shortage in like GPUs and CPUs and shit like that right now. What if GameStop was like the one-stop physical locations where you can actually like guarantee that you will have that shit in stock?
Exactly. And I would be doubling up on that. So I would have had it in store. Look, millions coming in.
You would only be making that type of money though when the market is drying up though. That's the only problem.
Yeah. But there's also going to be people who would want something right away and just go to GameStop to buy it.
That's a fact. That is a fact. No, I feel you on that. You're right on that. All right, McNasty, but moving on to the next subject here. Have you heard about SpaceX's latest mission?
SpaceX? Nah, I haven't, bro. What's the deal with Elon?
Do you know what SpaceX is? Do you know what it is? Like the company
Isn't it like their sole mission to get us off the Earth?
It's like not
space exploration.
Exploration, yeah, that's more of their mission statement. Now, what they've been working on recently is the ability to reuse rocket ships.
So like use the same one to go up and down all day.
Yes, because in the past we were using an inefficient method of taking a rocket ship and then just throwing away the parts that still work and just building a brand new one.
Damn, man, how much rockets cost? Like billions of dollars?
Billions of dollars.
And
so the price of putting something into space is really expensive right now.
Yeah, because you think about it, like sometimes them shits don't even go like into the outer space field. Like that shit might blow up on takeoff.
That's a whole possibility.
$1 billion wasted down the drain.
Wasted.
Damn, that's wild.
So what Elon Musk and SpaceX did is that they went and created reusable rockets. And you can actually search up videos of this on YouTube where you see the rocket, like after it takes off, like the boosters come back down and they land on the pads. Like this was revolutionary technology. We didn't have this before.
Damn.
Yeah. So we've gotten to the point where it's dependable enough that we can trust putting humans on it. Now, do you know what happened in the past week here, McNasty?
I'm guessing they shot some humans up to space.
They shot 4 NASA astronauts up to the International Space Station.
All the way there, huh?
Made it all the way into space safely.
And that rocket just landed on the pad and then gets sent back.
The reusable rockets just get reused again and they use it again for the next mission.
That's crazy.
This is a major step for humanity because this makes space travel a lot more affordable and feasible. So
you could get more tests done with using less money.
Exactly.
That's wild. That is a good step.
Now, how long do you think it's going to be before we figure out how to get like flights out into space to cost the same thing as a flight to a different country?
But weren't they trying to do that before? Like with the guy who owns Virgin Mobile? He had like a spaceship.
No.
Tickets for?
So what they do is that they fly up to the barrier of space and then come back down. I'm talking about actually getting into space.
So for that, I'll say like now that we have reusable rockets, I give it like 80 years.
80 years?
Yeah.
What do you think the cost is going to look like?
A smooth 5,000.
5,000? That's reasonable. That's actually really reasonable.
You get a 3-course meal 3 times a day, and you get leg space for 5 Gs. I say that's feasible.
That is a feasible amount of money. If you get enough people, let's say 5,000 times, let's say 100 people, that you can fit into one of those rockets, that's a payday.
And I'm talking about like after it gets commercialized, like anybody at any time can just go.
Exactly.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, 5G.
Exactly.
5G is reasonable.
That is a reasonable amount to go to space. I believe that is a reasonable amount. You are correct on that, McNasty. I believe that. Now, how long out do you think that it would be before we even get to that stage?
That stage where we could just send anybody at any time?
Yeah.
I say 50.
In 50 years?
Yeah, 50 years.
That's reasonable. Yeah, that's reasonable. 50 years? 50 years for 5G? I believe that. At the current rate that we're going, I believe that. So this was an interesting step for humanity. You are correct on that. Now, what's your take on the possibility that we no longer need like NASA when we have like companies that are going to just be running the space program? What's your take on that? Do we even need NASA at this point?
We don't really need NASA for nothing, bro. I feel like all they do is keep secrets and be weird. So, like, they could still do their like research shit on the side, whatever. But this gives like the public a chance to go out into space.
I feel like we don't even need to do that because we can outsource their job to other companies.
Facts.
Like, I don't think we really need NASA at this point at the rate that we're going.
How do you think, like, once we get to that point where we could just send people out to space at any time, like the glorification of being an astronaut is probably going to be like the same as like a teacher. You feel me? Like that's just another profession you could go into. Because if you're bragging to me about being an astronaut, I'd be like, bro, I just bought a flight. I could be an astronaut tomorrow. I just spent $5 on a ticket. You know what I'm trying to say?
Now, would the astronauts be like the people that are flying in the flights, or would it be the people driving the actual spaceship? Because the same thing, you could make the exact same argument for a person flying on an airplane. Be like, I'm a pilot too because I flew on a plane. That's kind of the argument you're making.
Yeah, but astronaut, like when you think of an astronaut, it doesn't have to be the person driving. It's just the person in the shuttle when it goes into space. So you see that?
Nah. I think we're gonna have to classify a passenger versus an astronaut.
So if there's 5 astronauts, only one of them is literally maybe 2 holding the steering wheel. The other ones are just sitting in the back.
Wait.
So what, are they not really astronauts because they're not touching the steering wheel? That's what you're trying to say.
I don't think that spaceship has steering wheel. What the fuck are you steering? There's no wheels on that bitch. You do know that. No, dude, you do know that like the spaceship has to like go in all 4 directions, like up, down, left, and right, right? It's just not left and right.
So there's 4 people holding the
No way! And he doubled down on it. No, bro, there's no steering wheel.
What I'm trying to say is,
I don't think there's a steering wheel.
You don't have to physically drive something because the pilots are in the plane piloting. That's what you're trying to say. That they're piloting a plane. That makes them a pilot. And
but here's the thing.
I'm saying you don't have to be a pilot to be an astronaut. You can just be in the space shuttle and go to space.
But here's the thing. A pilot and an astronaut pretty much have the exact same task. They have to still drive the plane to get it off and onto the ground. Everything else is automated, but to get on and off the ground, it's the pilot's job.
You technically need 1 or 2 people to do that. You don't need the whole crew.
I don't know.
Exactly.
Will we just go to 2 pilots in every spaceship then? We could just do that. That could happen.
I don't know. They could. The other people they had to do some research.
Because I'm pretty sure that everybody that's in that spaceship like has to know what the hell they're doing. Like they're helping to maintain the rocket's like booster speeds or some bullshit. I don't know, bro.
Nah, I think like some of them just sit there and make sure that everything's okay. Like that's a job.
So we got 50 years out into the future, somewhere around there. We'll start taking flights out into outer space at the rate that we're going.
Yeah, that's what I think. Because once like they sell that patent to like just reuse, anybody can reuse those reusable rockets. It's game over, bro. Everybody's gonna be working on some sort of like part of the big project to get there quicker. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha. Hopefully, we'll get out into outer space for real.
You know what I'll be shocked when we actually like put people on Mars and like have a little potato field grown. That's when I'll be really impressed. You feel me? Like put somebody on there and
what's the name of that movie? What's the name of that movie where he grew potatoes?
Off his own shit. He shit and fertilized the fucking ground. I'll be impressed when that shit happens. When that happens, I'll be like, all right, we're about to go to fucking space.
That would be impressive.
Eating space potatoes on Mars, chilling, bro.
No, that would be impressive.
It'll be fertilized with your own shit, but you'll be on Mars.
You would be on Mars. That is a fact. Now, we have a guest that wants to come on today. We actually got him on the line right now. It's our friend Tav. Now, do you want to give a backstory on Tav before we bring him on?
So, Tav is the fucking GOAT. That's all I gotta say. I met Tav like freshman year of college, and we've been partying ever since. Like, I met him, I think he was a senior in high school, and we were in college partying. He used to just tag along, get fucking wasted. And then after that, bro, I seen him put down, like, he started really drinking when he started hanging out with us. I seen him put down bottles of Fireball in one night. My man loved Fireball. Then he, like, did his little thing, graduated from college, and somehow ended as like a brewmaster at a local brewery that we have here. And I told him, come on, tell us your story. Let's drink a couple beers. Let's get shit rocking.
We have him on the line. We're gonna go ahead and bring him on in this next section here.
How's everyone doing tonight?
Chilling, man. How you been?
Oh, great. Played some golf today. Had a couple golf beers. Back home now, drinking more beer. Glad to be on the show. High notes. Cheers.
Yes, sir. Now, Tom, we brought you on because you're an expert in beer.
I don't want to say I'm an expert. I'm an aspiring brewer. So
you McNasty, wouldn't that qualify him as an expert?
You would have to expert that craft when you get up there. So you're gonna be an expert. If you're not an expert yet, you're close.
Close to it, at least.
Well, thank you. I'm glad to be here. Thanks for having me on.
Anytime, man. Now, we have a whole bunch of questions that we want to ask you from your point of view, because you would say that you have like a wide range of taste when it comes to different beers.
One of the most important things is being a craft brewer is being able to pick up a lot of different notes, a lot of different chemical compositions that are in the beer. That's definitely one of the biggest things is what you feel in your mouth, the flavors you get out of the beer. So you're right on, Brian.
Oh, that's fire. Okay. Now, I have had my experience of like experimenting with beers with like when back when I was in my early days of college. My roommate actually like helped me venture out to different beers because he was like into like different like what's it called, like different craft beers. Is that the term for it?
So you got your domestic beers that are made by, the larger companies, InBev, all those bigger companies. And then you have the smaller portion of the industry, which is the craft brewing, which is over the last 10, 15 years, like really surged in everything, sales and production. So you have like a lot of these like smaller places now. I don't even want to call most of them small because they're almost just as big as the large craft breweries around, like Trogs. That's really close to us, an hour away. They're fucking putting out a lot of beer. So it's hard to classify them now, but yeah, I mean, there's a difference though between the crafty side of it and the mass production, I'd say.
Now, what would you say is like, how many different beers do you think you've ever tasted in your life? Like, do you have a number? Do you keep a count of that?
Thousands. I actually
thousands.
I use an app called Untappd. You can download it on, I think, any Google Play or whatever. It just helps me keep track. You rate the beers, and then I just log in whatever new beer I have. I'll log in on there, and it helps me keep track of what I had and what I haven't. So it's a good tool I use.
Wow, I did not know there was a specific app for that. There really is an app for everything.
Yeah, there really is. You'd be surprised. There's a lot of different beer apps out there.
Wow. Now, what is the process to even making beer? Like, what is the actual process? What's happening here?
All right, there's a lot going on, actually. There's a lot of science behind it. When people say, oh, you're a craft brewer, I'm not just sitting my ass down on a chair drinking beers all day. It's a little subjective from different people's point of views, but the process is you start off with your malt, which is one of the 4 basic ingredients. There's 4 basic ingredients. You got your malt, your water, your hops, and yeast. 4 main ingredients in beer. In beer's about 90% actually water, and the rest are the other ingredients. So you get sugars from the malt. You'll put the malts in a mash tun. You'll actually crush the malt. You'll crush the kernels. Oop, don't fell down. But you'll get the sugars actually in the mash tun. You'll heat the grist, it's called, in the mash tun. You raise that temperature up like about 150 degrees, 160 degrees. You get all those sugars out of there. Then you'll add your other ingredients like hops later in when you get to
the process.
Yeah, and then it's something called wort. It's called before it's called beer. Beer's after it's done fermenting. So the first thing you have is this Pretty much the best way to describe it is sugar water almost. All this sugar and water, and then from the different types of malt you use, you get different colors, different consistencies. And
Tap. I'm gonna be very honest. This is way more complicated than I originally thought it would be. Like,
it's science. It is science. I don't want. I mean, I'm just giving the basics. It's really boring, actually. It's a lot more boring than sitting here drinking a couple beers and shotgun a couple beers.
Can I be? I'm gonna be completely honest. I was like super ignorant to like how this process actually went. From my point of view, I thought it was like you just take some water, add some sugar, and then like, you know how you take like rubbing alcohol and you just water it down, you put it in the beer, and you go from there. That's what I thought. If you asked me, that's what I would have told you.
There's a funny thing. This week at work, I actually made craft soda for the first time. And let me tell you, that's fucking easy.
Is that
add some flavoring, bam, carbonate it, you got some soda. That's a lot easier. But with beer, you gotta go through a fermentation process too. Now the sugars react with the last ingredient I didn't talk about yet, yeast. So when the sugars come in contact with the yeast.
Now, time out. Another question. What kind of yeast is this? Is like the same thing as like a yeast infection? Is it the same thing or no?
What?
No, that is not.
No. Okay, good.
It's more. They're called brewing yeast. They're the actual term for it is Saccharomyces cerevisiae, which is a type of brewing yeast. I'm actually learning about yeast right now, the morphology and everything, but no, it's completely different than infection.
What the fuck? That is a random question. I wanted to ask it in case anybody else wanted to ask it. It was one of those situational ones.
Good question. That was good.
Oh man.
So like I said, after the fermentation process, you turn that wort. That wort's now beer. You know, you have it creates CO2 with the reaction with the yeast and the sugars, and then you create that alcohol, and then you have beer.
That's fire. Now, Tab, what is it? I want to hear what your beer taste is like. What is your number one beer?
Oh man, my number one beer. I mean, my number one forever is probably gonna be lager, Yingling lager.
Yingling.
We're from Pennsylvania here. Northeast Pennsylvania. I mean, it's a staple of this area. Just a lager. I go to a bar. You don't have to distinguish what you're ordering. You just say, I want a lager. It's gonna be Yingling lager right in your hands. Best beer in this area. Probably my best top-rated beer. It's just the most enjoyable beer. I don't know what it is. Great lager.
Do you think it's just like a sentimental value because it comes from your area?
You know, that's a good point. I think so, but in all honesty, there's some things about the beer that I could critique and say, there's a lot of this, like there's this thing called diacetyl. Diacetyl is I mean, it's like this buttery popcorn flavor you get out of the beer. There's a lot of diacetyl inside Yingling, and then there's this other thing that I don't like that they do is they use green bottles. I mean, it's historic, like them using the green bottle. I don't think they'll ever change that, but clear bottles and green bottles are more susceptible to it's called white struck, or some people call it skunk, like a skunky beer.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Do I have? All right, we're gonna come back to that in a little bit. We're gonna come back to that in another question.
All right. But green and clear bottles, if they're put in the wrong environment, or if they're, a lot of UAV sunlight like comes in contact with that, you'll get a lot of. You get that with Yingling sometimes the bottles. You get that diacetyl flavor, very very distinguished. It's almost like a movie theater popcorn taste. You can tell it right away. Well, if you drink enough beer, you can tell it right away if you're that much into it. But there's, especially with Heineken too. I go on with all people that have different color bottles like that, green. They're just, you get that flavor. But going a little off topic here.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Gotcha. Now, you drink alcohol professionally because you have to like taste and sample it, right?
Now, here's what I tell people. I'm like, I'm a professional alcoholic.
That's what I like to hear. So for anybody out there who's a struggling alcoholic, listen, there's professions out there that you can go and get.
It sounds a lot better than saying I'm alcoholic. I'm a professional.
Yeah, professional. You know what you're doing.
You know what you're doing. You're trained for this. What would you say is your max level of beers that you can handle in a single sit down?
Good question. Now I think it depends what you're drinking. For one.
It varies. It varies.
If I'm gonna sit down and have 6 stouts, you know what? Number one, the consistency of the stouts, it's like concrete. Just take Guinness, for example. It's like concrete settling in your stomach. 6 Guinness on top of all the alcohol that's in that. Dude, I don't know if I could do that. But if we're talking, let's say we're talking lager, we're drinking Yinglings. I think I could crush a 12-pack in 3 hours. I think that's, but as far as my limit, dude, it depends what you're drinking, honestly. If I'm drinking 6 double IPAs at 8%, 7%, dude, I'm gonna be on the ground freaking not drunk.
Oh, man.
I think when drinking beer, the sky is the limit. It's all about your tolerance. And I think you guys know that. I built up a strong tolerance over the years, and we had some good times over the years.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact.
Tab, I was telling.
I can handle a good amount of beers.
That's good. Tab, I was telling the backstory of how we met and stuff, and I just wanted to remind you of your Fireball phase. Remember that?
That's a good point to pick up because, damn, whenever I smell that cinnamon, that candy cinnamon, alcoholic, whatever, dude, I don't even have to have a drink of it. It makes me want to throw up. It makes me want to throw up. It's so bad.
Oh, so you really can't even drink it like at all anymore? Like any type of cinnamon at all?
No. Tennessee Fire, Fireball, any of those cinnamon whiskeys, no, dude. My palate is in my stomach is completely gone from that like phase. It just can't handle it anymore. It grosses me out. Just that smell grosses me out.
No. I actually know about this. Like I've had a situation where I was just like that. But when I was younger, you know the little chocolates that you put in coffee?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, when I was younger, I used to eat those like they were candy. Bro, when I tell you that I can't have like dark chocolate at all anymore, I revolt. Like my body cannot handle it. I can only have like at the bare minimum like white chocolates and like light chocolates.
Yeah, I understand that. I always see about this and read stories about this. You just have some of those really bad experiences over your course of your life with some. You just can't go back to it.
You can't, yeah.
You just can't go back to it. I had some really bad experiences.
Yeah, I know exactly how you feel on that. Now, Tav, do you say that you venture outside to other countries for their beers? Have you tried international beers?
You know, before I was actually really into like the beer stuff. I've been in other countries. I've been to Italy, France, Ireland, just to name a few. I got really into the beer thing like after I was visiting those places. So I did try beers in the other countries. Don't get me wrong, but I wasn't like, wow, I gotta try all this. But yeah, I won't lie. My favorite. Well, Italy's one of my favorite places to visit, and there's a beer from there, Peroni. They have.
I've had those. Those are my second favorite beer.
Yeah. They have a Nastro Azzurro that they sell over here. Nastro Azzurro means blue ribbon. That's the one they sell over here. Now they have this other one that they sell over there. It's a red label bottle. It's kind of like a Hellas Lager. I can't get anywhere here in the United States. One of my favorite beers overseas for sure. When I go back to Italy, that'll be one of the first drinks I get. The Peroni red label. There's also this other one, Birra Moretti. They have their normal one over here, and then they have this La Rosa. It's called. I can't find it in the States, but yes, different. There's some beers in other countries you can't get here. There's some that import, like some big ones would be Guinness or whatever, but they have factories here too. But you have a bunch of other German brands. But oh yeah.
Now, Tab. I went ahead and bought my favorite beer onto the show. Have you ever heard of this brand? Let me see if I can get that on.
Camera, bro, right here, right?
Oh, is that Presidente?
Yeah. This is Dominican beer, the best Dominican beer.
That's the only reason I know that is because I've seen it around you guys before. I never had it.
Where would you rank Presidente? You've had it before. Where would you rank it?
Oh man, dude, I haven't had it in so long. I would assume it's on the level of like a lot of the other imported. It's a lager, right? I don't know what kind of, I don't remember what kind of beer it is.
So no, it's a Pilsner style. Pilsner style.
Pilsner lager. Pilsner what though? Pilsner.
It's Pilsner style beer. Cerveza. Dominican recipe.
That's a lager. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure it's. I don't remember how it tastes, but I'm sure it's decent. I mean, all
right, we're gonna remind me to bring you one next time I go to see you. Remind me to bring you one, and I got you on that. But pretty much, I would say, because I've tried the Peronis. I've tried those before. I would say that this tastes better than the Peronis.
That's fair. That's
why I would line them up. I would say it's better than Peronis.
The best thing about beer is that everyone has different taste buds.
Yes.
Your own opinions. That's a great thing about beer. It's very subjective. Very subjective. I love.
Now you probably have to meet a lot of interesting people that have different like views when it comes to like their beer taste. Like, do you judge people off of the beers they drink? Do you judge them off of that?
Sometimes yes.
Here we go.
And a couple I don't know, White Claws. I don't get me wrong. It's just like
now, Tom, I want to stop you right there.
Yeah.
You gotta say something stupid.
Like when you think about it, like I'm not really a big beer guy. Like I can't just be like, I want a beer because it tastes good. You know what I'm saying? I'm more of I'm gonna drink this beer to get drunk. Now, if I have an option of something that tastes better, like a seltzer, I'm gonna take that because it's the same amount of alcohol and it tastes better. That's where I'm coming from.
After you just said that, I'm sorry. It's not a beer. It's a seltzer. Hard seltzer.
Hard seltzer.
White Claws. First thing that came to mind with masculine dudes drinking something girly. First thing that comes to my mind.
That's what I thought too. I was like, do you want a purse with that too?
Wow. But I'm saying something that tastes good that I know it tastes like soda, so I just down it. Or something that tastes like wheat water, but I got used to it because I drink it so much and I'm drinking it. I rather taste the thing that tastes good, the soda.
Listen, Tab, we're both judging him heavily. He likes Fiona. We had a whole conversation about this.
No.
Do you remember Fiona off of Shrek 2?
No, enlighten me.
All right, let me tell the story. Tab, you see Shrek in the past, right?
Yeah, I see. Yep, I know Fiona.
Yeah. So it was me and the guys. We were sitting watching Shrek 2 high as fuck one time. And I simply asked the question, would you guys fuck Fiona? That's all.
No one else even thought of this. This is the only man in the room that asked the question. Everybody automatically said no and looked at him weird.
But it was just a question.
I'm going maybe too far down the road here with question, but are you talking about the Fiona of the ogre version? Or
Ogre Fiona.
That wasn't even discussed. They didn't even let me get past
It was implied.
Ogre version Fiona.
So
yeah, he
saying ogre version Fiona. Think about it. Be honest.
Still kind of busty, so I'd say yes.
Yo, fucking go! I don't care. Fucking go!
No!
Somebody being honest. That's all I want.
No way!
How about me?
She got
Right,
a
big Fiona?
That's good enough for me.
Yeah, she do got some big ass titties. And like her, yeah, that's a girl technically.
That's a girl.
She thick. 2 C's.
Yeah. Sorry, friend, if we have any listeners that are, bi, whatever.
Hey, man.
And me, that's what I like. Yeah.
Hey, man.
Yo, I'm fucking dead.
No way.
Yo,
no way. No way.
She's dusty, right?
Conversation here.
Facts. Yo, I'll drink to that time.
We gotta drink it out. Oh man.
Oh.
No. All right, so we got 2 people on the line that would fuck Fiona.
Hey, yo.
Now, Tav, let's go back onto the subject here.
All right.
What is the time frame for you to go from raw materials to finished product? Like, how long does that take? Is it like, can I do it in a day if I wanted to?
So no.
Oh shit!
It's a process. You gotta get the ingredients in the door. A place like us, we get them from Germany, all different parts of the country. Honestly, all these different ingredients. So it takes a while for them to get in. The fermentation process. I think the least amount of time it'll take is like 5 days. So I say the time frame of getting all the stuff in, getting the beer out, and then getting it packaged. I'd say about a week and a half to 2 weeks. Is the time frame for getting
2 weeks.
About 2 weeks
to make some beer.
So that's actually reasonable for people to make it at home, right?
Yeah, for at home, I think you'll be. I mean, it all depends what you're brewing, what you're using, or whatever. At home, it depends what kind of equipment you have. I think one of the biggest things is if you're doing it, there's 2 types of beers. There's ales and there's lagers. The lagers typically will take longer. That's different kind of yeast strains. Ales could ferment higher. Lagers have to be temperature controlled. You have to keep those at a lower temperature. So with the lagers, they're going to take longer to ferment. But as a whole, whether you're home brewing or if you're production, I'd say a week and a half to 2 weeks is a good turnaround. Get a beer packaged out the door. That's an honest timeline.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
So technically, you said it takes about 2 weeks to make beer. So technically, there could be a beer shortage where like something happens with like the yeast and the wheat, and it's not growing. Everybody just like came off a Super Bowl weekend, smashing beers and drinking them. And how long you think it would take from that time to completely run out of beer? Is there too many like beer companies in the world?
This is a good question.
Run out of beer. I mean, I think the biggest thing that will ever eliminate beer is probably the government again, like the prohibition and stuff. But as far as crops and everything else, dude, I'm sorry, nothing's gonna stop that. Really, I mean, it's grown so many places around the world. It might be harder to get at some point, but to completely stop the beer production, that's a tough question. I mean, like I said, I think the biggest thing is government. That would be the biggest thing to ever halt beer production at this point, I believe.
Now, how do you feel like the entire like prohibition? Do you think that like had major impact on like the beer industry? Like, did that change like the flavor of the beer or anything like that?
I don't know if it changed any of that, but it definitely changed. I think it made beer a little bit more. I don't know how to put this. because with the prohibition, like they after like that was done, they made the agreement where we pay a tax actually on every beer we sell to the government. Even right now, when you buy, there's a fee that goes to the government. So, I mean, as long as the government's making money on it, I think beer will be around for forever.
Gotcha. So we could all agree, fuck prohibition?
Fuck prohibition. That's a fact.
Drink to that.
Yeah, fuck the prohibition.
Cheers.
All right, that's one.
Wait, no, I got a matchup.
You got a matchup? Tab, man, you came on here with your leopard print jacket, Tiger King style.
You know,
I always said you're the fucking GOAT. Look at you.
I don't know if I'm the GOAT, but over time you acquire your own style. I mean, I've been in all the 80s. I got the mullet going on. I mean,
the fucking mullet.
Golden. Golden.
I kind of shaved the mustache a little bit. Got it, you know, in here with the goatee a little bit. But I've been really into the 80s stuff lately, and I'm trying to bring that shit back. So
yeah, man, bring it back.
Yeah.
What's your favorite 80s show?
80s show, movie, or
either or, whatever. Whichever one.
I'll be honest, one of my favorite movies, and I was just watching some of it. Alien, the first Alien with Sigourney Weaver. Amazing. I love that. Xenomorphs. That's what they called the aliens. The Xenomorphs.
Yeah.
I remember that one. I know which one you're talking about. Yeah.
And then,
that's a good movie.
Aliens 2, they had I love it. The Marines, the Colonial Marines, go in there and start firing at these the Xenomorphs. That's probably one of my favorite movies. I'm also a big fan of Mad Max.
Mad Max is hard.
Good movie. Good movie.
My favorite one's actually Road Warrior, the second one. But Mel Gibson, you know, is was original Mad Max. Road Warrior, little to no dialogue in the movie, all action, all these badass cars. One of my favorite movies.
How you feel about the remake?
Fury Road. It was good. I thought it was all right. I thought there was some cool stuff in there. The storyline really didn't pull me in, but no, I thought the visuals were pretty cool.
Yeah,
the colors, everything was pretty awesome. Definitely not Road Warrior. Definitely not Road Warrior.
Now, how do you feel about current movie generation, like versus like the old school? Do you feel like it's gotten better or worse?
Now, see, the thing with some of the modern movies, they remake so much of the stuff that they did back then. And it kind of, it gets old after seeing the same thing after a while. It's like, come on, we're doing more of this, we're doing more of that. I don't get it, but I mean, I like to see with today's movies, them stay on something new. So, there's no need to go back.
Do you think that it might be a problem that they just like ran out of ideas? Like there's no more ideas left?
Well, yeah, that's a good point. And just people gotta get a little bit more creative. Like there were some movies that came out in the last couple of years. I'm like, wow, like that was a cool idea. Over the last, I'd say like at least 10 to 15 years, like especially when I saw the Matrix, that's a little bit older. When I saw that, like, holy shit, that's a crazy ass idea. Like,
yeah,
like wow, like that just movies like that just blow my mind. I'm like, who the hell thought of that?
I feel like older movies are like a lot more animated. Like they actually like made like a story. Like now everything's like just rushed and like there's no plot. There's nothing exciting about them.
Too action packed. I think that's a good way to say it. Too action.
Yeah, there's too much action, but none of the sauce to build up to it.
Yeah, that's a good point, Brian. I can agree with that. That's accurate. But I love the older movies. The older movies just. Maybe that's why, I don't know. Maybe I was born in the wrong era. I don't know. I got an 80s car. Everything it's a lot more fun. I don't know. It's all much more fun.
It was more fun. That is true.
Never born in the 80s, but sounds lit. We could drink to that.
Better.
Drink to that. Wait up. Drink to that.
What are you guys drinking?
Cheers.
You drinking Presidente or?
Yes, sir.
I'm drinking Presidente.
Presidente, okay.
Now, Tab.
Yep, go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead. What were you going to say?
No, I was just saying when I was drinking, start off with Shady Spot, Lemon Shandy, Susquehanna. Now I got this Belgian Golden Ale by Duvel. And then I have a couple other beers here.
That's really interesting. Do you like drink different types of beers, as you said? Like most people, like they'll stick to one single beer whenever they start drinking. So you switch to different beers as you go along?
Oh, dude, I try whatever I could, whatever. Especially when you're making beer. You know, I just recently came out my first like I guess you could say mass-produced beer. It wasn't a home brew; it was something brewed on a high scale. A lot of barrels of beer. So yeah, I like to taste a lot of other beers. You know, see what I could change, what I could do. When I make my next beer. You know, I'm not all about, like I said, lager's my favorite to go like to drink all the time beer. But I'm always drinking something else. Like I'm not just like, oh, I need to have this. I'm not gonna drink this. I'll drink whatever you have in the fridge. I'm always game for whatever, anything. Honestly, I'm not subjected to one beer.
Now, I want to actually ask you another question here, circling around that multiple beer subject. Now, I've tested multiple beers in the shower, and I found something that's really interesting. Why do the beers taste different?
Oh, well, you got a lot going on when you're in the shower. If you're like me, you're taking a nice warm shower, you're going to grab a lot more stuff from that beer, I think. The aromas, first of all, you warmer beer, you're going to more of those aromas from the beer. You're gonna smell a lot more things going on. Second of all, I just think it's the refreshing aspect of, getting clean and, sipping down a beer. It just something about it. It just, I love the shower beers. I don't know anyone that drinks beers that doesn't have one in the shower. It's really refreshing. I found something that's actually really interesting about this. When you rank the beers, like if you try a beer before and then after getting out of the shower, your rankings are gonna be different. I actually noticed this. So beers that I would rank highly, like before a shower, I could rank lower during the shower, and vice versa. What's happening there? No, I think it's like I was just saying, that refreshing aspect. You just have a shower. When we have to take a shower, I feel good. I'm feeling good. I think, it's almost like a stress reliever too, and I think the same thing was for some people with beer. I think beer's a little bit, a little stress reliever, and, it's all in your head, I think, too, at some point. I don't think it's just like, oh, how the beer tastes or whatever. Mostly with beer, I think it's, in your head sometimes, what you perceive. It's all about perception. What are you perceiving at that point? I can perceive something in a different environment than it's like I'm going to this brewery. It's like the most worst place ever. There's freaking air all over the place, and my hair's like getting destroyed. The bartenders are rude. Probably can perceive a beer worse there than if I'm going to a place I'm sitting under palm trees drinking a beer. It's all about perception. That's what I believe. Perception could have a big influence on what you think about a beer.
Now, something that I did notice, like at least from my taste buds, I noticed something like objective about it. When you're tasting the beers back to back, for some reason, the lighter beers are the ones that score higher after the shower, in my opinion. There are a couple that break that like norm, but for the most part, like the beer that I found that was the best was actually, have you ever heard of the Jamaican beer, the Red Stripe?
I haven't, actually. I have not.
I bet that's the number one beer in my taste buds, like after taking a shower, like comparing the two. Number one, easily. I don't know why, but all of the light beers always ranked higher for me.
I mean, on this, but yeah, no, I grab a beer. I don't even know. I wish I had a better scale for you on my beers and my beers. I won't lie. I usually enjoy IPA in the shower. For some reason, I like an IPA in the shower. It brings something that comes out of the beer, like I said, with the smells, hot shower. warm, getting those esters and aroma out of the beer. There's something about IPA in the shower that I like. But so that's probably my favorite shower beer is an IPA.
Which one specifically would you?
Sorry, those could range from, it could be a 4% session IPA, or it could be 7 or 8% double IPA. It could be a triple IPA. As far as like 11%, I mean, it doesn't matter. It just IPA in the shower for me, honestly.
Wow, man. Now, no, because this is really interesting because if you've never tried this, like I highly recommend everybody that's listening. If you ever want to try it, just take your favorite beer that you normally drink, like outside of like before a shower, and just take it into the shower. I promise you, it is a life-changing experience. Now, it really is. It like awakens you to a new world.
You may be onto something. You might be onto something. You could actually perform a beer study and maybe write a paper on that. Hey,
I don't know about all that. We'll leave that to the actual experts out there. All right. Now, McNasty, did you have any more questions for what we could ask a professional brewmeister? Is it brewmeister or master? I get it confused.
I'm working over the next course of the years. It would be a brewmaster. I'm not there yet. Right now I consider myself a craft brewer.
Craft brewer.
A pretty.
Would that be like an apprentice? Apprenticeship almost.
Craft brewers pretty much. I make the beer. I do cellarman work. I transfer the beer. I know how to do that. I do some lab work. I do a little bit of everything. The brewmaster though, you gotta have all the knowledge, everything. You gotta know all the science.
For a person, you're not what people would assume. Like a person that like drinks beer professionally would be like. Like you're a really smart person when it comes to like this kind of stuff. Most people would.
You got to put a lot of time in. You got to know what you're doing. It's not like you just, like I said, you're not just sitting around drinking beers all day. There's a lot of hard work that goes into it. One of the biggest things I read in all my studies so far, I'm pretty much a glorified janitor almost. That's what they call it.
Wait, what?
No, there's a lot of cleaning that's involved with making. If you want a clean beer, no infection, because like I said, there's a lot of science behind it. Infected beer, that's the worst. You don't want a sour, unless you're going for a sour beer, but you're making a lager. You don't want your lager to be sour. There's so much cleaning that goes into it, cleaning of vessels, equipment. You gotta make sure everything's sterilized. That's why they call us glorified janitors. There's a lot of cleaning that's involved.
Wow, I did not know that. That's a new fact of the day. Now, at what point are you then considered like a brewmaster? Like, when do you cross the threshold?
It's really just a title, but we don't just give everyone that title. You gotta work for that. You gotta have the knowledge in a lot of places to give you that title. They're probably gonna want you to be, there's a school for it, and eventually there's a school for that. There's schooling to be a brewmaster. You're just, some places can say, oh, he's the brewmaster or whatever, but there's actual schooling to be a brewmaster. It's, like I said, there's a lot of science behind it. One of the biggest things about being a craft brewer, and if you're a brewmaster, is putting out a lot of fires. There's a lot of
Wait, you work with fire hazards? There's a lot of liquids around. The two don't sound like they would be together.
As putting out fires, I mean, a lot of problems during the day. As you know, and everyone else knows, when you're working or doing whatever, there's always going to be some problems. And you can be a successful craft brewer / brewmaster. You gotta be hard-headed. You gotta know how to put out those fires that occur every day. That's half the job. Is how can I fix this, or how can I get better at this? There's a lot of things going on throughout the day. Everything's not perfect.
No.
Problem solving is key. Can we drink to that?
Yeah, drink to that. Now, what would you say how do you like? Is there like? Do you even get like insurance for like fire hazards like that at your job? Like, how does that work? Like, there has to be like some type of protection for you.
You gotta follow some safety rules. I won't lie. I wear some brewing overalls when I'm working. You deal with a lot of chemicals. I'm wearing brewing overalls. I got chemical proof boots, steel toe boots, safety glasses. You gotta be careful with a lot of shit there. Actually, talk about fires. There could be explosions. There could be explosions in brewery.
Hey, what? Hey, yo!
There's a mill, and the mill produces malt dust. You know, malt dust could be very hazardous. It could, you know, cause an explosion. So there's possibilities for explosions. And I deal with chemicals every day. There's a lot of hazards in a brewery. That's one of the biggest things to be a brewer. You gotta make sure you're gonna stay safe. There's a lot of things. My boss, he has his own place now. He told me one important thing: you're only as good as if you help safe you keep yourself. If you can't make it in the door in the morning, then what are you worth anyways? You gotta make sure you stay safe while you're working. If you can't make it through the door, you're pretty much useless. So safety's a big thing. That's a big thing in a brewery.
That is good advice.
Yeah, 100%. It's important. That's why we're the. Maybe I look like a freaking douchebag or whatever, or like a farmer, but I wear brewing overalls. You know, it keeps you safe. Remember,
Safety first. Safety first.
Safety first. Drink to that.
Drink to that.
And kids, don't put yourself through burning tables. No, it's not a good idea.
Put yourself through burning tables? Tell us the story behind that.
Tell us the story behind that, Tab.
Oh, you want to hear about the burning table story? Okay. So I had a stint where I lived out in Philly. You know, we had our own little apartment there. You know, we're playing some games, and you know, me being who I am, as you guys know.
Tab's a wild boy. He is a wild boy.
I'm like, I love entertainment. I love entertainment for my friends. I love putting on a little production. I'm like, you know what? Let's put some lighter fluid on the table. Let's go Bill's Mafia on this, and let's jump right. Let me jump right through this. So we lit the table on fire. I get up on a balcony. I'd say probably like 20 feet, maybe 30, between there. I just jumped right through the table with no shirt on. And let me tell you, I got some really bad burns. It was on fire when I landed in it. I was in the fire, like on plastic, with my skin burning. And we had Colin actually with a hose in his hand, ready to spray me off. Well, him not drunk, even spray me off. I'm laying in the fire. And oh man, it was bad. And then we went out to the bar. I had so many beers before we went out just to take the pain away from my back. My back was on fire the whole night. We had a blast though that night. But yeah, be careful for flaming tables, and especially when you're on. I heard.
That is some great advice, Tab. No, you are a wild boy. You're easily one of the coolest people I like party with. I will admit that. You're extremely fun.
I'm also gonna say this. We're gonna go back into brewing here. To be a craft brewer, you gotta be a little nuts to be good. You gotta be a little nuts to be good. Cause man, let me tell you, there's a sanity level. And you gotta keep your head on a swivel because it gets rough. I put a lot of hours in. Like I said,
what's your regular work week look like? How many hours in a week?
Right now, 60, 55
60.
60.
So 20 plus hours in overtime. The average person is not doing that much OT.
No, it's not. It's not for. As I tell people, I'm like, this job is not for everyone. You know, I'm there late nights, weekends. I worked yesterday. I worked a 6.5 hour shift. It's mostly about the size of our brewery. We're doing almost about 30,000 barrels a year. So that's a lot of beer coming out of Pittston, Pennsylvania that people don't realize. We're a big ass brewery in Pittston, and man.
Now, what's the beer that you manufacture? In case the listeners want to like try your company's beer?
So I work at Susquehanna Brewing Company out of Pittston. We contract brew. We make our own beer. We're doing soda now for another brand. You'll probably see that in the next couple months. It's actually the bassist from Breaking Bad, and I think like the drummer from Motionless in White. They're doing. I saw it in the news a little bit. I met those guys there. They're doing a craft soda. So we're doing a lot of different things. But Susquehanna Brewing is where I work. We produce beers for Levante Brewing, Funk Brewing, Evil Genius, a lot of notable craft breweries in Pennsylvania we make beer for. So if you ever had any of those brands, I probably made your beer, seriously. Probably made the beer out of our brewery. You'd be surprised.
That's impressive.
Yeah,
You've changed the lives of hundreds of thousands of people.
I'm going to go into something here too. With the pandemic, which was actually really interesting, beer sales were down with draft because bars weren't open. But man, let me tell you, the people just buying like cans, bottles, anything else, like all those. Honestly, in the beer industry, nothing changed that much. You get more money on the draft beers because there's less cost with the materials and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But man, let me tell you, people were at home, they were still drinking. And they're probably drinking more. The pandemic, man, let me tell you, there people were still drinking a lot. We thought we were gonna be slow. For the first 2 weeks, it was like, oh shit, like everything's gonna change or whatever. And then no, everything picked up the way it was. We're still making beer for everyone. People are buying a lot of beer. When we're coming out with new beers, people are buying them, and then that's better to do. That's another thing we were saying before about if beer's ever going to go away. Dude, unless the government stops it, people are going to keep drinking.
So then beer manufacturing was actually considered like essential. You were considered essential workers pretty much.
I was considered essential worker. I was.
You definitely are an essential worker. Absolutely.
Being around like saying, oh, look at me, I'm an essential worker. Dude, I'm making beer. I'm out. Sorry. I am.
This is important. This is important.
That in my mind would save someone. But
oh man. All right. McNasty, you have any closing questions here for Tav?
Actually, I do, Tav. I told you when I brought you on, we're gonna drink today. So I'm gonna ask you a series of random questions. If I feel like you answered like truthfully and it was a good answer, we all just take a swig. How about that?
Right.
Sound good? All right. So if you had to drink one type of flavored beer the rest of your life, what would it be?
Flavored beer for the rest of my life. Oh man. Can I ask any details on this question? What, like flavoring, as in, can I just drink a normal lager, or can I be like actual flavors?
Like an actual like flavor, like citrus peels or whatever the fuck it's called, or like.
I'm gonna say I'm gonna say orange, just because IPAs, they have that citrus in them. I'm gonna say orange.
Orange? That's a good answer. We can drink to that.
Okay, we'll drink to that. We'll drink that.
All right, Tab. So if you had to choose between two beers for the rest of your life, would it be Four Loko original recipe or grapefruit White Claws?
The original recipes in the Four Locos was just some unreal. If I'm gonna drink to get absolutely wasted, which this is where I'm going with this, it's gotta be the Four Loko.
Four Locos, of course.
We could drink to that.
At that point, if I'm drinking one of those, it doesn't matter what the other flavor of whatever White Claw I'm drinking is. Because that one Four Loko, oh man, you're gonna be on a different level.
What flavor Four Loko?
I think my favorite is probably the Swedish Fish.
Red one.
Swedish Fish, okay.
We can drink to that Swedish fish.
Yeah, we'll drink to that. Yeah.
All right, how about you? What's your favorite Four Loko?
I personally think they're all gross. But the blue one.
Of course you do. What's your favorite seltzer?
Favorite seltzer right now? I'm not gonna lie. I'm still stuck on Truly lemonades. I like those a lot. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay. I haven't even had those, honestly. But we make some. We do make some craft seltzers at our brewery. We make this mango lime one, really good for Levante Brewing. As far
I'm
as
gonna need that.
I don't usually buy my own, but whatever we make in the brewery, I'll usually, try them.
Yeah.
But
mango lime actually sounds like a really good flavor.
Yeah, they combine flavors. I like the ones where they're combined flavors actually.
Yeah, you get some other stuff going on.
Yeah, I like the ones that are a little different. I don't like just plain, lime or lemon or whatever. I add something in there like passion fruit peach or something weird.
Yeah.
Nah, that passion fruit is good. I'm not gonna lie. So here's another one for you, Tab. I know you're a Saints fan. If you were to take Drew Brees, before he retired spot, so beginning of this season, you were to take his spot as starting QB, what do you think, honestly, your record would be?
Me at starting quarterback. Well, let me tell you. If I could run like fucking Taysom Hill out there, I could get some dubs, honestly. We had Taysom Hill at quarterback for 4 games. Taysom Hill doesn't have the best arm. He was running around like a maniac. I could do that, I think, too.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say I give myself, at least, if I was starting the whole season, give me 3 wins. 3 wins of the season.
That's an honest answer. I like that. I'll take a drink now.
Take a drink to it.
That's a good answer.
How about this? At the end of this, I got a challenge for you guys.
Oh, here we go.
Go out with a bang. There's shotgun and a beer to end this out.
I was not planning for this. This got interesting.
One thing I learned in my life, always be ready for the unpredictability. And that's my challenge to you guys.
All right, we can do that.
Fire.
So you go 3. All right, 3 wins. That's not bad.
3
all right,
wins.
Tab. So if you weren't a brewmaster, what profession would you go for?
That's a good one.
All right, if I wasn't a craft brewer, I was originally supposed to be a businessman because I went to school. I graduated from King's actually in business, so I was supposed to be a businessman.
No, I'm saying you can do anything you want.
I could do anything I want.
Anything. What will be your profession?
Brewing sounds really good. If you didn't work in the job, that sounds really good. I'd probably still say brewing. But I don't know. Maybe like an astronaut. I don't know.
Astronaut.
Solid call. That's a solid call.
A solid move. What a flex.
Astronaut, I think you gotta be a little crazy to get up there too in space. I think I'm that kind of crazy, So let's say astronaut. If I met some aliens up there, I'll give them a beer.
A beer, nice.
Facts.
A lager, a nice lager.
Yeah.
Time out. This is a great question. If you had to give one beer to an alien species that would represent humanity, what beer would it be?
I would give him a traditional Yingling lager.
He's sticking to it. I like that.
That is my beer. I will never go against Yingling. If there's one beer I want to give someone, it's going to be take a lager. Take a lager. Enjoy your life. Whatever problems you have, I think the lager just... it's a great beer. It's my favorite beer. I'm sticking to that. As much as I love our beers too, we make a good lager at our place. Golden Cold Lager, Susquehanna Brewing. It's really good, crisp, refreshing, typical German Helles lager. It's good. But if I was gonna give a certain beer to an alien or whoever species, it's gonna be a Yingling lager.
Yingling. That's
Yingling.
Good.
I like that. I like that. I like that.
We're gonna have to get sponsored after this.
Yeah, we gotta get sponsored. Yingling, if y'all are watching, David Dobrik is not gonna pay for this episode, so Yingling.
I still have a Susquehanna brew.
Susquehanna brew can sponsor us too.
If you're a white girl, get yourself a Susquehanna shandy. You're gonna love it. Real fruit. All our beers that we make with the shandies, all real fruit. It's delicious. I batch it up. Batching up is pretty much adding in the sugar and the real fruit. The real fruit, man. Oh my God. You could put that stuff on pancakes. We make our blueberry thrill, it's called. The blueberry, oh my God. Put that on a stack of pancakes. Delicious.
So you guys actually like put like fruits in like those drinks. I thought you just like made like mixed chemicals together to make the taste.
No, our shandies are real fruit. 100%
Oh,
real.
That's wild.
Yeah, it's fruit extract, but it's still, it's real than having like any fake like flavoring. It's not that at all.
Okay. So it already comes like pressed and all the flavor comes in. Okay,
exactly.
Gotcha.
Dude, it's delicious. It really is. So here's a good thing to say too about craft brewing. To make some really good beer, if you want to make real good craft brews, you gotta use the best ingredients. You got the best ingredients, you're gonna have a good experience brewing anything. And that's what I like about Susquehanna. We bring in the best quality materials. We have $1 million brew house that you can brew beer on. It's amazing. It's awesome. It really is. It's really cool to work there. It's great.
Nice. Tav. All right. So this question is actually a question I asked Bryant last week in our last episode. So
I just want to say about your last episode. I really enjoyed that episode.
With Carl,
yes.
That was a great episode. I don't think I couldn't top that today, but it was a little bit more.
No, this is a good one. This is a good one.
Good episode, man. So I actually asked Bryant this last week. I asked him, "Are you familiar with the rapper Lil Pump?"
I'm not.
All right. So he's a rapper. You don't have to know who he is technically. So, but as you know, all these rappers, they're doing a trend where like they're painting their fingernails and their toenails. Have you seen that trend lately? I know it started with like rock stars.
I'm glad I haven't, but.
All right, so they're actually painting their nails with like crazy designs and all this stuff. So, I asked Brian, would he suck on that rapper's toe for $15,000? 3 seconds. It's just you, the rapper, and a random witness that you never met before. You don't know this guy. He's just there to ensure that it goes down. Would he do it for $15,000?
15 G's to suck a toe.
For 3 seconds. The big toe.
Sorry, 2 witnesses. Whoever's toe it is. And
but have you seen? Do you know who Lil Pump is? Like, have you seen this rapper?
No, I have no idea who he is, and I probably should. I mean, that probably has a lot to do with this question. Actually, what he looks like. No. I'm school. I got bills to pay. 15 grand to suck a toe. You know what? Fuck it, I do it.
All right, I'm gonna
wait up. Yeah. I'm gonna wait up. No. I'm gonna show you a picture. Let me share the screen real quick. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you a picture before you go ahead and make the decision. Would you suck that man's toe?
Man,
for $15,000, are you doing it?
$15,000. It pays a lot of bills.
Look at the armpit. Look at the armpit.
Head scratcher now.
All right. Now, I asked.
If you gave me whatever amount of beers I want to drink, yes. If I could
Time out, because I'm gonna give you. We made a second hypothetical based off of this question. At $100,000, it would have to be a picture. instead of just a person watching you. So a picture that could get floated around on social media. Would you do it? At 100,000.
Social media, no. Nope. No one's seen that shit. No, absolutely not.
All right, here's the boiling point. At $1 million, or you could pick at $1 million, past $1 million, you could pick the amount of money where you would sell out at, right? But it would have to be a video floated on social media of you doing it.
And that picture's still in front of me. God damn. $1 million is a lot of money. You know what? If I'm getting paid $1 million, yeah, I probably would.
See,
right.
I went with
$1 million's a life changer.
It is a life changer.
That's a life changer. No matter what the humiliation is on that, that's a life changer.
I will tell you this, Tav. I sold out way earlier than that. I said that at 100,000 and a picture, I can get away with just saying that the picture was photoshopped.
That's a good point. You know, 100,000 could be a life changer too. The way you could invest that money, that could be a life changer too. You know, that's a good point. It's a good point. But I don't know if I can take that humiliation. I feel like I know too many people that would not like that. So, but for $1 million with that, with the video, oh yeah.
Respectable. It's respectable. We understand. We understand.
That is respectable.
$1 million is a lot of money. All right. Now, for my final, or Magnassi, are you done with the 10 questions that you had, or do you have more questions that you wanted to ask?
No, I'm good on the questions now. You guys are whores, so I can toast the money.
Hey, yo. All right. But for my closing question here, this is going to be a good one. What is the weirdest beer that you've ever tried, like flavor? And then on top of that, what flavor haven't you tried that you do want to try?
Oh, man, the weirdest beer I've ever had. Man, that's a good question. I gotta go deep into my memory here. I can definitely tell you what the worst beer I ever had was. The worst in France. It's called Kronenberg, 1664, I think. Dude, I hate it. I hate it. I had it at France airport. I was like, wow, this is terrible. It's like one of the biggest beers over there, mass-produced beers. Terrible beer. Now, the worst one I had, oh, man. What was the question again? I'm sorry.
What was the worst beer? And then what beer flavor haven't you tried yet that you want to try?
Flavor that I have to try. All right. Man, that's a good question, too. Trying to think of beer flavors that I haven't even had. Here's one that I have an idea for that I really want to make that I haven't made yet. That I haven't had a version of it yet. It's called Italian Grape Ale. So it's like a hybrid between a wine and a beer. I want to make I want to make one of them. I have not had one yet, but that is one of them that I do want to try. I think in this area especially, that would be a freaking great idea.
So it's a whole different category of alcohol?
It would still be considered a beer, but I was watching videos on it. It's really interesting how you can make like a real Italian grape ale. Is grapes actually have yeast inside the skin. So whenever you have a grape or wine grapes, anything, there's wild yeast in those in the skin. And if you ferment that with some wort from the sugars from the malt, you could really just make like a wine/beer kind of thing. It's really cool. I really want to try it. And I really think it would do well in this area. Because I think a lot of people in this area drink a lot of wine, and I already know that a lot of us drink a lot of beer. I love grape flavor too. Grape is if it's done right, you know, it could be I think it'd be an awesome beer. Seriously.
Wow, I didn't. I just learned something new. I always learn something new off of these guests. I didn't even know that was a thing. That's apparently a thing.
It's a big thing. I like Italian things. It's a big thing in Italy, kind of. So I read about it and I was like, wow, like that's pretty cool. And that's something that's not like been done here, really. Honestly, Italian grape ale. So that's something I want. I haven't tried one yet. Am I gonna make one? I'm gonna attempt it. So
nice.
Be on the lookout for that. Be on the lookout.
That's what's up. All right, Tab, but I want to go ahead and just thank you again for coming on to the podcast and instilling your knowledge on alcohol with us. We learned so much that we didn't know about. McNasty, what's something that you learned today that you didn't know before?
The whole process of beer. Like how you actually have to like measure stuff, and I literally thought they just threw all the ingredients in the water, let it boil, and whatever comes out is beer. But it's way deeper than that.
There's a lot of science. There's a lot of science involved. It would bore you. It's not something that you want to like really. I mean, I'm sure there's people out there who want to say like listen to a podcast. Oh yeah, how's beer made or whatever. But this kind of deal, you know, that's all I can say. Really, it's a lot of science. I broke it down simplified as I could. Sugars, you know, come in contact with the yeast, and then it makes the alcohol. Fermentation, like I said, about a week, 2 weeks, depending on what kind of beer it is, ale or lager, and then you know, package it. You got beer in your can, bottle, on draft, whatever. That's pretty much it.
That's what's up. But damn, we really did learn a lot. I want to thank you again, Tab, for coming onto the podcast. Do you want to share your social medias where people can follow you at or anything like that?
My name is Matt Tavalone. Facebook, Instagram, whatever. If you want to, you know, talk whatever about beer, hit me up. You know. The last thing, we're gonna go out with a bang here, right? We're gonna shotgun some beers.
Oh yes, the beers.
Grab your beers.
Let me grab my beer.
Yeah,
there you go.
I actually got Springbok, Genesee.
Springbok.
Some brands. I'm drinking some Genesee right now.
Nice. All right, McNasty, where you at? Let's go, McNasty.
Here, I'm gonna get my my beer here ready for the shotgun.
I got glass bottles, so I can't stab my beer.
Very good.
Where'd McNasty go?
Oh, he's grabbing a beer. I wonder what he's grabbing. We're grabbing something good. And if it's a seltzer, I'm gonna be a little disappointed.
I'm gonna be disappointed if he comes back with a seltzer, man.
And I'm sorry to all your seltzer drinkers out there, but
No. I'm not sorry to the seltzer drinkers. This is the beer episode. We're drinking beer.
Rightfully so. But I'm ready. Like I said, I got my Genesee Springbok. They only come out with this in the May, and like the spring months here, like March and May. It's like a light lager.
Now, do you have like a technique specifically for how you shotgun beers?
Not really. I use the old school key. I know people have all these tools nowadays. I forget what they're called, the bear tooth or whatever. Get that bear tooth in there. But now I get the keyhole, form a hole with the key, and then tip it, pop, slug it down. Old school style. I don't know.
Old school. The guy's old school. He's really from the 80s. I like that.
I don't know. I don't know. This is how I learned.
All right. McNasty, where your beer at, McNasty? You're on mute.
I'm right here.
Hey, let's see what you got first. You got seltzer?
What did you get, McNasty?
So it's like a tangerine seltzer, like a mango type thing. It's not, I told you, bro.
There's no way, McNasty. There's no way.
Let's just do this.
All right, let's just do it.
Just count it down.
3, 2, 1.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's how we be on the high notes here.
Yes, yes, sir.
Thank you guys for having me again.
Thanks, Tom.
Come back anytime. Anytime you want. Just let us know.
Pleasure, guys. Thank you for having me.
Anytime, man. We'll see you.
I'll see you guys.
All right, McNasty. So that was a very interesting interview. How are we feeling on that? We learned a lot coming out of that interview.
I am very enlightened, bro. I learned about beers I never heard about before. Different flavors. An app that you can actually track all the beers you ever tasted. Like, shit's good, bro. The app is actually, I was going to say this before, the app is actually like a game changer. Because let's say you're going out of town and you just go clubbing and you happen to stumble upon a bar that only sells like craft beers. You can just pull up that app and remember all the beers you tasted that were like different and be like, oh, I really like this one. Let me order that again. And you don't have to be guessing all night. Because everyone's a vibe. When you don't got a good beer, everyone's a vibe.
That's a fact. That does ruin the vibe. That is a fact. That is a fact. All right, McNasty, but let's go ahead and wrap up episode. This is episode 7. We are really running through these episodes, bro.
7.
That's crazy. But let's go ahead and wrap up episode 7 here. McNasty, do you want to plug any of your pluggables?
Other plugs are on the link tree. Remember to watch if you haven't watched our last episode, the 420 episode, let us know if you really like that content. It was us bullshitting the whole time.
The whole time.
Just strictly speaking on topics. Just comment down below if you want to see more episodes like that.
All right, McNasty. But let's go ahead and wrap up the episode here. Remember, if you guys want to catch us on any of our social medias, you can go on linktr.ee/hi HI notes with an S podcast. That's linktree linktree/hi notes podcast. You would think I would remember it by now.
You're fucking drunk.
Let's blame it on the alcohol. All right, McNasty, but let's go ahead and wrap it up. We'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
See ya.